I think we're good. Okay. Welcome back to another video. As you can see, we are in our laundry storage room, and last video we ripped off the OSB. As you see, there's still two here. We used two pieces. We made the floor for the extension, but now we need to put the ceiling back because this is actually getting a lot of cold into the house, and it was freezing here in the morning. So
well, not freezing.
Well, yeah, like more colder than the house, which is not nice. So we want to put the ceiling back on, put the insulation back on. This is not what we're actually going to do in this video. We are going to just change the beam because it was not in a good condition. So we want to get a new one for the new ceiling. Ceiling is going to be in the next video, so just enjoy us changing the beam. Let's get started. Take these OSB sheets and put them there, and then we're going to get started and build this new ceiling. So we have cleared it up, we have taken away the OSB, we have taken everything away, it's ready for the ceiling. But there's one issue. As we have mentioned before, this beam that's right under has a plank of wood on top, and it has two small beams that are connected in the middle with the woods on the side. Looks awful, doesn't feel like it should stay as it is. We definitely want to replace it, especially if you want the floor up here in the future. You want a bit more strength. The beams that we have for the house, of course, are really oversized for being up here. Living space, this was holding a lot of clay. So they actually are meant to be holding tons and tons of weight, but this is just no good. It also looks pretty bad. So what we're doing is lifting up this rafter. We're gonna just lift it up a bitty, take the beam out, put a new beam in, and then put it back down. So we gotta get this perfect so it does not collapse, and if it does collapse, it just falls 10 centimeters on the wall. It's nothing bad can happen. It's not like the whole roof can collapse. It will just fall down on the wall instead of being on the beam. But that could crack the small wood, the lumber. It might just crack the ones that are holding up the tiles. So we don't want to risk anything, so we gotta make sure if this thing is leaning a bitty, we have to stop. This is a 25-ton jack, so I think this thing will lift it up like no problem. The roof is not heavy at all. Yeah, I'm going.
It's cranking next to me.
It's coming up. I see it. There, the gap is increasing. It's really light. I am not feeling any resistance.
Yeah,
Can you please keep an eye on my angle? It's slowly not leaning down. I think we're good. Okay, once it's crunching, that means we're going opposite of being straight. So now it's supported. Looks pretty fine to me. Quickly, let's take out the beam. Maybe we could even find a way of supporting it up, so we could take the jack away so it's also 100% secured. So we could put a wood like this across and just screw it down, take the jack away. Then we're guaranteed support. Oh fuck. What? I feel like we need quite a gap to pull it out now.
Yeah.
Plus also the new one is not higher, it's the same height, but... I think it would hold it a gap, but we need a gap like this.
I think the problem is that we're holding it from there, but the weight is on the bottom quite a bit.
Yeah, of course.
So it just sucks down.
We cannot put a support on against this beam.
Yes.
This beam is the one leaving. We just push on this and hopefully it just unclicks. Like, yeah.
It's off. I don't think it's even hooked in, is it?
Yeah, this is pushing against it. The wood we're removing now, it's on screws, as you can see, because we added it, so we could put a flat floor, because this thing, the beam is so tiny that it was just lower than the actual, what we needed it to be on.
Yeah, now you can see that it was two broken, like two small beams.
Look, I'm lifting the roof just with this pressure. So it's like really light in here. And this beam's also covered in wood worms, you can tell.
Is it?
Yep, the bottom one. The big beams, not at all, because they have lime on them, so the lime kind of protects it, and we have locked them. This beam I didn't even lock because we knew it's not going to be staying. So
good that it's
like,
coming off.
Yeah, we need to get it out, and probably for fire it's going to go, because wood worms, not something you want to keep.
Cut that to the plastic.
We're out.
Yeah. Go up.
Go up. Go this way. To me. Not to break the wall.
I'm not breaking it.
Okay. So stuck. Okay, we're lifting it.
Okay.
A bit more. Eight and a half by 18 centimeters. Oh, the beam is 18.
Oh, it's gonna fit in.
Perfect. That's pretty good. Before you jump in the comments and say how bad of condition this beam is, it's just surface rot caused by woodworm, and the core of the wood is actually solid, and compared to the size of the wood you would replace it with, this beam is quite huge for what it's gonna do. It's just holding up rock wool. So just enjoy. The beam is really beautiful and it has its character, and the rot is not gonna affect its structural strength for sure. goes.
Punchy. Three, two, one. Pretty more. Okay, there we go. There we go.
Flush?
Okay, I think so. Yeah.
It's going flush, flush. Oh no.
That looked dangerous.
Tricky. So the beam is installed, and this is how it should have been from the start. It probably was rotten out, they took out the old one and they replaced it so poorly. And it's funny that this beam was just sitting in the barn, and many more others. We have pretty much 4 of these that we could be putting in here. We don't have beams to replace all of the length, yes, but we have beams for this. This is pretty easy, and this is beams that were here in this property, and there were piles and piles more probably. So yeah, since they burned half of the barn for firewood, I assume they burned a lot of good wood for firewood as well. And yeah, the wood looks pretty characteristic, and it looks really gorgeous. It looks like the original beam. It pretty much is the same beam as next to it. So I'm pretty much sure we installed kind of what it should have been and what it would be in a normal house. It's probably from a different house or somewhere else. Some other building they have gotten it from. And now we have secured it there so it doesn't slide out, which it pretty much can't because it's hooked into the wall and the ceiling, the roof is squeezing into it. So yeah, now last thing I want to do is give it a fresh coat of lac so it's fully clear coated and sealed. And also woodworms, probably there isn't any because there was no live dust and it's been sitting 4 years in the barn since we're here. And there has no been piles at all. Most of the barn wood that we have stacked, it's without woodworms, and what had woodworms, we burned it straight away for fire. So we didn't keep any of that upstairs. So yeah, I think it's pretty good, but we're gonna lock it, and that's probably also gonna seal them in and kind of get rid of them. So let's get started and lock it. Who designed this bar? Oh. So we are finished. We have made it all nice and beautiful with the varnish. And it looks gorgeous. It's really shiny, this one, but it does look nice. We got this on a discount, and it's a really nice, expensive parquet varnish, but it looks really good on any wood, really. It clear coats anything, and it's water-based, so it breathes the wood. Still, it's not fully chemically sealing the wood in. And yeah, so this is gonna look really nice. We're protecting the wood not to rot, and we did the rest as well, because we don't want it all to look this one shiny and the rest kind of having a matte color, because the one we used on the rest, plus it got all dusty from doing the walls, so we don't want the rest to look all matte and the shiny. This just looks like a masterpiece right now. The other one that we had here, it just does not have the same color, because it's really having that exterior layer still on it, versus this is looking really rough kind of, and that one looks more black kind of. I don't know, it's just two different things, but this looks really cool. So yeah, next up we're gonna be installing ceiling in here. So finally it's gonna be sealed up, and also a lot of cold comes in the night. Not super much, but you know, it gets a bit cold.
10 degrees.
10 degrees in the night. So it does come a bit of cold in. It's like an air conditioning in the morning, and in the night, in the evening it's coming, like in the day, it comes a lot of heat in as well. So we kind of want to just close it up, insulate it, and be done with it. And then also another thing we're gonna get on with is a wind barrier on the front there, because we realized, well, we can't look at it in the winter much because it's all sealed up. But now we're realizing that a lot of water and snow is coming in and kind of landing on the rock wool, and it's kind of flattening it down throughout kind of like the first 5 meters of this like house. So that's not good. And then also we're gonna insulate the whole thing, that's not gonna be filmed, the whole thing with one layer of 10 centimeters more, just so we have a lot of insulation this year, and we keep the heat in. We already did these walls, we're gonna do the whole way, and there is no moisture on the walls. I did check, because I can look behind the walls. They're perfectly fine, now plastered, nothing is coming off, at least first year. It's nearly a year, I think, since we've done it.
Yeah.
So we'll see in future how it happens. If we insulate from outside, in theory we could take it down and then have the walls back the way they were, insulate the house from outside, or just double insulate. I don't know if it's better. But I think that's pretty much it for this video. A lot of talking and a lot of work later. We have this beam in, and we did it in a day. This is how it should have been done whenever they fixed it first time, but this was a kind of crappy room if you remember how it was at the start. No one wanted to put the effort in, but it is your house you're putting effort in, not just like this room. I don't need it, it's just a storage room. Yeah, it's just lack of effort, but we put the effort in, we put this nice beam. I'm glad we didn't go with a new beam. This old beam definitely has a better character, and the strength is definitely more than enough. So, hope you enjoyed. See you next time. Bye-bye.
I'm happy we did it and didn't just slam the ceiling.